This is a story of two young American women who traveled to Bali, Indonesia to visit and have a nice vacation. And one day they decided to be, hey, let's fudge around and find out. So they went to nail salon and they get their nails done beautifully. And at the end of the process, they didn't have the money to pay the bill. And technicians just like, you cannot go with this. Well, in America, sometimes I see videos when people just like they didn't have money and they're just like dine and dash, for example, or just like causing a lot of drama in the nail salon, is just trashing people's stuff. But you are not in America. You are in totally different country, different game. Guess what? The technicians call the police, and the police actually arrested them on the day when they were about to leave the country. They put the orange jacket on these two young women and they have to be jailed for 2 years and 8 months. And some sources even saying that this two was taken around the city to be shown to the public that, hey, this is somebody who FAFO, F-A-F-O, and we have law and order here that you need to be bowed. So lesson learned today. Of all things, let me know what you all think about this. That's the most important part.
That's what the USA need urgently. Nails in Indonesia have an average cost of 7 to 16 US dollars. Imagine crashing out like this for less than a meal at Panda Express. Their vacation has been extended by 2 years and 8 months. The United States should learn a lesson from this. Stop giving people a free pass. Hold people accountable. They didn't have much to say when wearing those pretty orange jumpsuits. So they really thought they could pull a dine and dash in Bali. I guess they forgot they were in a completely different country. What makes it more interesting is that they moved like they were still in the US. But this isn't America. Different countries have different rules and very different consequences. Now imagine the embarrassment of getting arrested at the airport and ending up in prison for years. All because you refused to pay for something you already received. At that point, that's not a vacation anymore. That's an extended stay you didn't plan for. And let's be honest, they're coming out completely different people. Once you learn the hard way, you're not making that mistake again.
How much money should a guy make so you can feel comfortable? $1 million a month.
2,000 years later.
I spent the last 15 Christmas by myself.
I have 15 more to spend by yourself. What is wrong with you? Are you serious or what? It sound like a delusional. You need to come off the bumbuckler internet, boy. You need a man to make $1 million a month. You know, see why you just spend the last 15 Christmas by yourself and you have 15 more to spend by yourself. In fact, you're gonna spend your eternal life by yourself if you don't change that blood clot mentality. What is wrong with you?
The internet be keeping scores. Internet is still undefeated. So they can turn around and beg you pay them rent. But the reality is that men who actually make that kind of money aren't just focused on what a woman wants. They're looking at what she brings. At that level, options aren't the issue. So the real question becomes, what are you offering that matches that standard? Because it can't be one-sided. You can't expect top-tier results without bringing real value. And then you look at the outcome, spending years alone, and it starts to connect. When the standard is that extreme, it will naturally limit their options. Most men at that level are thinking of real connection, peace, stability, not just demands. And this is probably what she is not aware of.
Yeah.
Where do I put it?
On the ground. Who needs a man? Not me, baby. Not me.
You see? There's no oil. Now oil is coming, you see?
Yeah.
Yes, sir, I'm recording it. And I do have a witness in here.
somebody put windshield washer or something?
Something like that.
So the car was getting fucked up?
No, I don't know. She just brought it. Oh, Jose.
Yo,
They said her washer fluid is not working. She told me that too.
okay.
She doesn't need a man, yet men fixed her problem. So they don't read labels on products anymore either? That bottle definitely would have said windscreen wash somewhere. You definitely don't need a man. But you also need to have basic life skills like knowing where to put washer fluid. Do they even do research first before doing anything? Or do they just say, I don't need a man, and start pouring random things? I understand the whole independence talking point, but this is where it starts going left. There's nothing wrong with being self-sufficient, but there's also nothing wrong with asking for help when you don't know something, because pouring washer fluid into the oil tank is a bit too much. That's not independence. That's just a lack of basic knowledge. The irony is in front of everyone. The same person who claimed that she doesn't need a man didn't waste time when the real issue knocked on her door. That's the part that stands out. Pride shouldn't put you in situations that common sense could have avoided.
Normalize leaving men when they're at their lowest. I never gave a fuck.
It motivates them to do better. Every time you leave a man when he's down, you are saving a life. As a man, I agree with this. You don't have to stay, and you don't deserve the comeback. Absent fathers, come see what you have created. Most men don't deserve care. We need to be taught this young. A man would never be with a woman at her lowest. Are we now normalizing being an unsupportive partner? That statement just makes me question what the point of a relationship. Because if you're only there for the good moments, then that's not really a relationship. And this is what most of us would want to avoid. That's why I actually agree with one thing she said. Don't look back. Because you can't walk away when a man is struggling, then try to return when he's back on his feet like nothing happened. It doesn't work like that. And when he refuses to take you back, it's not because of someone else. It's because you already showed him who you are. That's where support comes in. It's not something you switch on and off. It's the foundation of any real relationship. You've got to call it what it is. If someone only shows up for the highs, let them go for good.
Are y'all really out here trying to tell me that whenever your wife makes a mistake, you want her to be accountable for that mistake? That's not your fault? That's not your problem as the man and husband? I got people in my steak video trying to tell me you should own up to your actions. You should take accountability for your actions. It's not his fault. I'm sorry, yes it is. I haven't reviewed our contract recently, but I'm pretty sure in the job description of wife, it doesn't say anywhere in there takes accountability for one's actions. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that the job description of head of household, that's like responsibility number one, is to take accountability for the other people's actions that you're the head of. You know what? That's probably right there. That mindset that y'all got right there is probably why a lot of y'all ain't got no wives or girlfriends. If your wife or your girl was able to make a mistake, clearly you weren't watching her well enough. Clearly you're not paying good enough attention for her to be able to make a mistake. Whose fault is that? Not hers? Come on, man up. Be a man.
If we actually followed this logic, then what are we really saying? That a grown woman shouldn't be accountable for her own actions? From that moment, it stops sounding like a relationship, and it becomes more about one person carrying full responsibility for two adults. And this is not how it should be. At the end of the day, accountability in relationships has to go both ways.
I think any guy who is like done the work will understand why women are man haters. And if anything, you should want a woman who is a little bit of a man hater, because then if I am a man hater and I still choose to date your ass, you know I really fucking love you.
What's the point of being with someone who already dislikes you for no reason? That's the part she probably didn't think about, and it also shows her lack of awareness and understanding of how most of us approach relationships. What man in his right mind would choose to put himself in that kind of situation when he already knows what it involves? Most of us simply want someone we can build a life with. Someone easy to be around, not a person we're likely to clash with all the time. So if we already understand what that kind of dynamic brings, what's the point?